Did you see those girls land today? Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez. People were mad they wouldn't let the ladies drive. Look at that. Oh, that's them? There's a lot of men astronauts. Yeah. They have to go to school.
Right.
They have to learn how to be a pilot first. Then they have to join the Air Force.
Those are like the guide parachutes. There go the drogue parachutes. Just free-falling right there until those drogues came out.
Before we dive into how things started unraveling, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're into deep dives like this. What happens when celebrities trade red carpets for rocket ships? Apparently, a 10-minute trip into the sky is now the ultimate act of female empowerment. Or at least, that's what they want you to believe. Katy Perry, Gayle King, Lauren Sanchez, and a handful of other high-profile women just boarded a Blue Origin space flight that lasted less time than your average lunch break. And somehow it became the most overhyped event of the year. But instead of awe, the internet responded with mockery. From teary monologues to mid-flight singing and cringeworthy Instagram captions, the mission was roasted to oblivion. And it wasn't just strangers online. Even other celebrities couldn't stop laughing. Let's break down what actually happened, and why this so-called historic space journey...
All of his bones were weak, all of his muscles were weak.
But these bitches seem fine, these ladies.
Well...
...is being called one of the most embarrassing PR stunts in recent memory. Blue Origin announced it like it was the next moon landing, an all-female crew launching into space in a show of strength, sisterhood, and inspiration. The truth? It was an 11-minute ride. No one flew the ship. The capsule was remote-controlled. And this wasn't exactly NASA-level training either. They basically learned how to buckle seatbelts and smile for cameras. This wasn't about science or exploration or breaking new ground. It was about selfies in zero gravity and sponsored content posted from orbit. But here's the twist. The cringe didn't stop with the mission. It only got worse when the celebrities started talking about it. The internet was fast, but Hollywood was faster. As soon as Katy Perry jumped out of the capsule and kissed the ground like she'd just escaped a war zone, Olivia Wilde reposted the moment with the kind of sarcasm that cuts deep. Amy Schumer joked that she was added to the crew last minute, saying she brought a flower with her on the subway just in case. Even Martha Stewart, the Queen of Shade, uploaded a throwback of her own zero-gravity experience, casually reminding everyone that she's been there, done.
In the middle of the desert, very soft landing from space, and the only thing we got to land you is a parachute.
That, and didn't need to post an emotional TED Talk afterward. This wasn't support. This was trolling. And it was only just beginning. Now let's talk about Gayle King. Because if there was one person not taking the criticism lightly, it was her. After people referred to the 11-minute trip as a ride,
The moment where these astronauts emerged from the capsule, I'm reminded of what William Shatner said.
Gayle lost it. "This is not a ride," she scolded on national television. "It's a journey, a flight, a mission." She said the word ride was belittling, and if you even dared to question the significance of the trip, well, you were part of the problem. According to Gayle, what they did was nothing short of inspirational. But to the rest of the world, it looked a lot like a luxury experience bought with billionaire connections. Nothing more. Katy Perry didn't just go to space. She apparently healed in space. Yes, she's now a spiritual guru. She said she felt connected to love, and that the experience changed her forever. Meanwhile, Lauren Sanchez floated through the capsule shouting "girl power" like it was a scripted moment from a 2000 pop tour. And what did they do to inspire women? They floated. They smiled. Katy sang "What a Wonderful World" mid-flight. Someone brought flowers. Another talked about finally getting her ears pierced after the trip. If this is empowerment, what exactly are we being empowered to do? Marry billionaires and book a 10-minute ride into the clouds? The entire PR push around the trip focused on one phrase: take up space. Sounds empowering, right? Until you realize the irony. Because the only reason these women were up there wasn't talent, or training, or groundbreaking work in STEM. It was access. It was privilege. It was fame. And the public saw right through it. Memes flooded in. People joked that if riding in a Blue Origin capsule makes you an astronaut, then they're pilots because they rode Space Mountain. One tweet summed it up best. "I've been on the Haunted Mansion at Disney 6 times. Guess I'm a paranormal investigator now." As expected, social media had a field day. The mission was roasted harder than a SpaceX booster in the atmosphere. One user said the only thing these women discovered in space was how big their own egos were. Another said it felt more like a billionaire Disneyland ride than any kind of historic achievement. Selfies, peace signs, inspirational quotes, all while floating for 5 minutes before dropping back to Earth. The worst part? Instead of just laughing it off, the crew got defensive. Rather than admit the mission was overhyped, the crew doubled down. They called critics sexist. They claimed the backlash was just people being uncomfortable with powerful women in space. But here's the thing. No one's mad that women went to space. People are mad that a billionaire's girlfriend turned a joyride into a social justice moment and expected the public to treat it like the moon landing. Lauren Sanchez said, "We weren't just taking up space and we were making space." No, Lauren. You were floating in a luxury capsule someone else was piloting remotely, while real astronauts were out risking their lives to push the boundaries of science. This is the real problem. Space used to be for explorers, scientists, engineers. Now? It's influencers and performers with enough money to hijack a moment and sell it as progress. They weren't breaking barriers. They were breaking the internet with cringe. And the worst part? They really believed they were changing the world. But let's be honest. If inspiring girls meant buying a $50 million ticket and crying about how the Earth looked quiet, then maybe it's time to redefine inspiration. In the end, this wasn't a revolution. It was a spectacle, a commercial, a carefully curated performance masked as a milestone. If space is truly the final frontier, then this mission proved something important. We've officially run out of things to brag about on Earth. So next time you hear someone say, "We're making history," just make sure it's not in a gold jumpsuit holding daisies, while floating above the stratosphere for 11 minutes. Because if that's the new standard for inspiration, then Houston, we have a much bigger problem. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories just like this. Drop a comment and let us know what you think. We're reading all of them.